Sometimes it's hard to be saying something important. It has to mean something. You know, it has to mean something to the large.
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up because he's the acceptable monster at this time.
The people in power had gave that reign to Diddy, and Jay was next in line. So to separate him, when in fact they may be two of the same, but because Jay-Z is low-key, that low-key sneaky, and Diddy is, and was rambunctious, you know, just...
Clip 1. In a rare and unsettling moment, Jay-Z was seen breaking down in public, an unguarded display of emotion that caught even his most loyal supporters off guard. Long regarded as untouchable, disciplined, and immovable, the image of the composed mogul suddenly fractured. For decades, Jay-Z has embodied control through lyrics that project certainty and through business moves that signal dominance. But vulnerability, when it appears this openly, forces a difficult question. What does it mean when a symbol of strength finally shows strain? And does that moment signal something larger than a single breakdown?
Cover the homo. She talking about Diddy. That's what these down low was called when Wendy first started talking about it in the 90s, the homo thug.
So you hear about stories of Diddy like shooting people, blowing up cars.
Yeah.
Is he this gangster that behind the scenes that is that him? Or is that
shout out to Wendy Williams.
Gene Deal, happy to have you back on the platform, my guy.
Man, I'm happy to be here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be able to be in a platform like yours to give my opinion. You know, opinion is just like an asshole, everybody got one. You know what I mean? You know, I give my opinion, and it seems to make a lot of people upset, you know, but then a lot of people love my opinion. That's why you bring me on here. And I really appreciate that, brother. I just want to say this before we get started, Art, is that, you know, a lot of people think I came here to bring a black man down. And that's what I hear in the comments a whole lot. But it was nothing like that. You know, a black man didn't cuss a dead man's mother out. A black man didn't set his friends up and put them in a situation where they couldn't come home to their families no more. A black man didn't reach back and help the people that helped them make it up the ladder. It was Puffy. You know what I'm saying? I got tired of Puffy going on different platforms talking about how he loved the people that we was all with, how he loved the people that helped him, when in fact, none of that stuff was true. So my whole thing about it is, man, I appreciate your platform for letting me, you know, voice my opinion. And like I said, opinions like an ass. Some of these cats out here get paid for their asshole. I get paid to give my opinion.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, yeah, you just on here giving your opinion, man. I mean, you was one of the people that was real close to the situation, so why not?
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So with that being said, right, the last interview me and you did was a day after the raid. And when you look at everything now, man, how you feel about everything? It's been like a week, you know, you knowing Diddy, you being around Diddy, could you ever imagine that his houses would get raided for sex trafficking?
Bruh, you can't imagine no stuff like that. You understand? You can't think that, because back then, he wasn't Brother Love. He was Puffy. All the way up until he became Diddy. So his behavior over the years has changed. And the behavior that he shows now and that he has shown by...
Clip 2. Sources close to Jay-Z suggest the moment was triggered by a deep sense of betrayal connected to Diddy, someone once considered both an ally and a peer. Their relationship, built on mutual respect, shared influence, and years of proximity at the top of hip-hop's power structure, has long been viewed as unshakable. If that trust fractured, it cuts deeper than business. In a culture where loyalty is currency, betrayal doesn't just hurt, it destabilizes. And when power bonds break, the fallout rarely stays contained. Clip.
I came to our studio, 33 South Broadway, Rough Rider Studio, and I had it's in Yonkers. My jaw was still wired shut.
This is when you got signed. I heard about the story.
This is when he knew he would sign me.
Okay.
My jaw was wired shut, and the locks that got signed first to Puff, and D from Rough Riders, Darren, he gave me the Puff, and one thing I respect about Puff, one thing I respect about him, and real shit, is that at least he told me to my face what he felt. And when D told Puff, he said, yo, if you like the locks, you're gonna love X. And I spit or whatever, and he was like, his voice is too rough, he's not marketable. Didn't like it, but I had to respect it.
He fucked up. Let's make some noise from Puff fucking up.
Hold up. He came right behind and tried to clean up. So maybe 3 weeks later, when he found out I was getting signed for Def Jam, he was like, yo, I'll lace your pockets. I'll double what they gave you and lace your pockets. I'm like, nah, homie. Because if you didn't see the beast that I was,
what point did he tell you that? What point?
I told you, like maybe 3 weeks after I got signed to Def Jam. He was like, yo, I'll lace your pockets. I'll double what they gave you and lace your pockets. I'm like, nah, I'm cool.
So it's a legendary story.
Yeah, you didn't know. I said, but I respect that about Puff.
Right.
Because a lot of motherfuckers, they see you on a wild goose. They won't tell you. They're like, oh,
industry
call me later,
shit.
call me later.
Yeah, industry stuff.
I respect the fact that he told me to my face. He said, you know what, your voice is too rough and you're not marketable. So at least he was willing to, in my mind, what I think he's saying is, work on this.
Right.
So Ax, listen.
Constructive criticism.
It's a famous story that said that when you and Jay-Z battled, right? Because this battle happened, right? Correct?
A couple times.
It wasn't just once.
Nah.
So when you and
when the people, some tend to refer to it, what happened backstage.
And we heard that Big L had recorded that one battle.
They said that Big L
That's
recorded
crazy by
that
itself.
battle. Do you remember Big L being there?
Vaguely.
No, I can't say
Not
that.
at all.
I know Big L. I'm a
Right.
But you was trying.
3. One insider described the scene as quietly devastating. Jay-Z, visibly shaken, reportedly repeating a single question. Why would he do this? Not in anger alone, but in disbelief. To see a man known for emotional discipline reduced to that moment is to see the armor come off. This wasn't a calculated performance. It was confusion colliding with reality. And when someone who has mastered control begins questioning his world, the impact reaches far beyond the room he's standing in.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough.
Why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
We need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress.
Yeah.
Who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the fuck was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is fucking you. And the boss's boss don't get no fuck. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in. You right, I go to Diddy parties to walk mother out, cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come.
So let me ask you, because I look at Gabriel Union, and when you mention things like Jay-Z's time is coming for him, then I look at Beyonce. And I say that, women do have
that country album, and any of you that buy that shit stupid as shit.
You don't give it no
trap music with goddamn a holster and a hat.
But she remade Jolene.
That bitch. I'm gonna tell you the song she should have
Clip 4. As Jay-Z processes the moment, those closest to him have reportedly closed ranks, offering support while shielding him from the noise. Over the years, his empire has been built on carefully chosen alliances across music, sports, tech, and culture. But trust is the invisible infrastructure behind all of it. When that cracks, every connection feels the pressure. The concern now isn't just emotional recovery, it's structural. How far does one fracture travel when it's tied to this much influence?
She should have tried it on. Tammy Wynette. Classic. Stand by your man. Don't act like you don't know that. Remake that. Stand by that. That's a real country hit. Jolene, nice. But it has a ring to it. Stand by your man. Yeah. Whoops. And disrespects you with other like Kathy Coriana White.
All right, well, let's do it like
who was
this.
Actually carrying his baby while you was spanking it. Why your husband don't want to put his seed inside of you? He put it in everybody else? Wild in this world, yo.
It's funny, you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
that
it.
belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
And half of which dumbass bitch.
So, you know, it's funny that it's crazy you say these things.
Why don't nobody want to accept?
I think
she went and killed the girl Cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. You know, snacking on his killing people cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician. And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston. Why did that house burn up? Who the fuck goes to their childhood house for a visit and the shit goes up in flames?
That was very weird. The next day, within the week?
The next day.
The next day.
And still, no real investigation on how the house just went up in flames.
Man.
I guess they paid y'all off. Like they paid y'all off for that Astro World.
So, let me ask you.
Texas politics.
Yeah, Texas politics, man. It's that right there. We're gonna talk about the episode. But for right now, I just got to get your take on when we see a Killer Mike win 3 Grammys.
And get arrested immediately after because Jay-Z paid somebody up just so he couldn't have a good night. You show him.
Hey, man.
Weirdo. I don't get no what you got in your head, that Neuralink. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate your AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bit like me. You can't even control that. You should have did a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Kathy. Because you ain't protecting you. You're protecting her. Wonder why.
That's a good break.
Clip 5. Industry observers are already speculating about the broader implications. Jay-Z has always combined emotional restraint with strategic precision. That balance has protected him. But vulnerability changes perception. In an industry where power is constantly tested, even a moment of exposure can invite opportunism. The question isn't whether Jay-Z is weakened, but whether he can transform pain into recalibration. Can this moment become fuel, or does it mark the first visible crack in a long-standing foundation?
I was all like, and I'll be honest, and I said this, I was like, I feel like Jag doesn't have the right people behind her, like somebody like trying to help organize shit like that. But I do see
I got the right people behind me, but everybody can be bought. Sean Carter has been buying companies and stopping my projects for 15 years.
Oh, Mr. Diddy, aka Mr. Love. Now, Dr.
No, Sean Carter.
Jay. Okay. That's why it's Fuck Rock Nation. Hey. Wow.
I'ma tell everybody about Big L, Sean.
Big L?
I would just rather do it on the stand, Sean. Please sue me. I want to go to court. And I want to talk about Big L on the stand.
Wow. What's your thoughts about Dame Dash?
Dame Dash got over by somebody who was supposed to be his friend. I'm going to tell you something right now, Sean, because I know you're watching. Or you have someone watching. I'm going to admit something right here on AT2 channel that I've never admitted before. People think I'm a snitch. The truth is I'm the best secret keeper in the world. I keep secrets even when I'm about to say my husband don't know. I started Big L when I was 14 years old.
Whoa.
We kept it on the low because I was young. You didn't know that, Sean. And you don't know everything that L told me about you. Please sue me. I want to go to court.
Wow.
I want to tell everybody in the world all the things that Big L told me about you when I was with him.
So this Big L is associated.
Big L is the one that put Jay-Z on.
Wow.
Jay-Z was the last person to see Big L alive.
Wait, so this Big L person is not living on this earth no more?
He's been dead for years. His death made it possible for reasonable doubt to live.
Whoa.
See how good I keep secrets, Sean? And I'm gonna tell you something else, and I'll give you this one. L fuck better than you do, Nick. I'd rather be with that dead man than ever be with you.
So how do you know how Jay-Z get down? You know that from experience, or?
Don't worry about that part. I'll tell it on the stand.
Oh, wow.
When he takes me to court for defamation of character, I'll tell him how well I know you, Sean.
Big L was a rapper in the 90s who was signed to Columbia Records. Unfortunately, he died on February 15th, 1999 in New York City. He was killed in a drive-by shooting. Gerard Woodley would later be charged for the crime 3 months later. He was Big L's childhood friend. Jag went live on IG and actually gave more context. This is from her interview with Real Life Productions.
I have never had anything to say about Mr. Sean Carter other than the fact that we had a pleasant working relationship and he was an excellent businessman.
21 years.
21 years. And after 21 years, what I will say to you is this.
Somebody stole my Black Power earrings at the spot. Rewap, I need some more.
You even heard him spit a rhyme. Was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z. He didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as a nigga that was with Big L.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Big L.
Rest in peace.
One of the dopest. Yes.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on.
Yeah, of course.
And then Big L died, and the next thing you know, Jay-Z. And then, he starts clienteling with Tupac and clienteling with Biggie and doing songs with Biggie and building a working, camaraderie with
Rest in peace, Big L for real. What's up, Campaign?
AKA Diddy. And
why do you give the honeycombs? Why do you give him honeycombs?
Because he smacked so sweet.
Y'all just heard Keith Murray say that nigga smacks sweet, fucking should slack a taste out of his mouth.
So yeah, then and then reasonable doubt was happening, and then Dame's in the picture, and Dame's building Rockefeller.
Dame was gonna sign Big L, not Jay-Z. Dame. What don't y'all understand? Rockefeller was built by Damon Dash. Sean Carter.
To this day.
He was a partner. He was the talent.
He's not at least an executive at Tidal.
At least.
Like I said, Biggie died, Tupac died. And then there was the fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and Jay-Z. And then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown and he's taken out of the game.
Because somebody micked him.
It's all Jay-Z.
It's all Jay-Z. And he was working with R. Kelly. And
Privately, Jay-Z is said to be weighing a decision he's rarely faced so openly, whether to speak or remain silent. Throughout his career, he has mastered discretion, choosing when to move and when to wait. But betrayal complicates that equation. Silence protects image. Speaking risks escalation. And between those two options sits a heavier burden, carrying a truth that never gets voiced. Which costs more in the long run, exposure or restraint? Clips.
I want to ask you about Jay-Z because I always heard like you had some kind of C&D where you couldn't talk about Jay-Z, but
I never signed no paperwork.
Okay, you never signed no paperwork.
I just didn't want to put my family's life on the line.
So you were worried about him coming to get you?
Yeah, like everybody else is.
Because I seen a lot of F Rock Nation on your page and stuff like that. So now you're more vocal. What was the turning point?
They went too far. Sean Combs and Sean Carter have been working together for the better part of 25 years to find a way to take over full control of the entertainment industry. They have been slumping and sidelining relevant hip-hop communities for decades so that they can have control. Now they done killed Jacqueline Avon, and they done picked up old Clarence Avon, and now they running around acting like they remind Macaulay Culkin and Home Alone. That's what these niggas acting like out here. They rigging shit, doing all kinds of happy that ain't nobody around to tell them what to do, and they just get to act a fool. Free Beyonce. She a prisoner.
Now you had said that you felt that Beyonce was a prisoner. Because I always heard their relationship was put together. Like it was a business. Or I did hear that.
Him and Matthew Knowles had a deal and then he screwed him. I'm gonna make it easy. Sue me.
Yes.
I want to be sued. I want to be sued.
Jack, why do you want to be sued?
Because I want to have to go to court. Because see, if I go to court, I gotta swear on the Bible to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And I believe in the God that they say that it's all about, so I'm not gonna lie. And then I get to say all of those things that I haven't said on court record in front of a judge, which could open up other investigations into other things, which is why y'all niggas want me killed. Sue me.
Reggie, when you were running around with Suge during the heyday of the Death Row days, did you ever have any interactions or stories with Aaliyah by any chance?
Aaliyah, no. You know, no, we didn't. Aaliyah was a little young. That's why I always laugh at, we all know what R. Kelly did to Aaliyah and how he had her at a young age. But the person that get mixed, a person that gets neglected, and I know in the 90s was different. A lot of older guys messed with those girls that were under 17 years of age. And, now we're a little more educated because of the talk shows with Oprah that we went through and Dr. Phil and stuff like that. Even Ricky Lake and all of that. We realized that it wasn't so cool messing with the underage young ladies. I never had an attraction for someone young. I always looked and had an attraction for older women, so I probably didn't have that problem. But then everybody that I fucked with did. Everybody. All of them. No names mentioned yet. But I'm going to expose somebody that we all forget about. Y'all see this picture of Jay-Z with Aaliyah when she was underage? Y'all forgot about Jay, huh? We only know about Damon Dash messing with Aaliyah and R. Kelly. But that ain't the only one that Jay had when she was underage. Yeah, I remember Fox Brown and Jay. Ain't no woman like the one I got. No one could love you better. Before that song came out, we used to hear it. I used to tell shit. I was like, ooh, that shit. Him and Mystical, those were two songs that were hot. That it took like a year before it got, well, I'll say to the West Coast. I don't know if they were beating it up on the East Coast. But on the West Coast, it took like a year before those songs came out. And then Nelly's song with the Link St. Louis ticks. But I'm just saying all that to say, Foxy was young then as well. And so, all of these guys and the underage young ladies was running rapid in the 90s. And so, that's all I remember. That's all.
As word spread, fans flooded social media with speculation, support, and unanswered questions. Some demanded clarity. Others offered unwavering loyalty. Jay-Z has always controlled his narrative carefully, releasing only what serves the moment. But this time, the audience is seeing something unfamiliar, a glimpse behind the myth. And that raises another question. Can empathy strengthen a legacy built on authority? Or does vulnerability change how power is perceived?
Janet Jackson situation. Hey, that's all I think about, and I can remember about Aaliyah. Aaliyah was my wife's favorite artist. She loved the hell out of Aaliyah. It was a tragic how she died. Trying to rush back to get to Damon Dash on the plane. And what happened is the Bahamians let her fly out, and their plane was overloaded or full. That's the one thing that I didn't like about when I traveled to our black countries like the Bahamas and Jamaica and all of them. The officials there, we used to have to bribe them $100 to make the rules pass, to let us in with the dogs that we didn't have properly claimed, or the not search our bags or whatever, or to sneak away with a whole bunch of cigars and stuff like that. But in Mexico, one thing about the motherfucking Mexican authorities, that number used to be 5 G's, 5,000 and stuff like that. And I used to laugh. I was like, damn, black folks is easily bribable. They so cheap. They don't understand the value that they be having. But yeah, that's all I got on Aaliyah, really. It's a talent. That's another person that life was taken too soon. That was a talent. Wonder where she would be now. Her, Pac, Big Pun, Biggie, Selena. People like that were taken too soon, in my opinion. Shout out.
What happens next may define the next chapter of Jay-Z's legacy. He has survived public scrutiny before, turning setbacks into leverage and doubt into dominance. But betrayal is different. It doesn't attack reputation first. It attacks trust. The real question now isn't whether Jay-Z will recover. It's how. Will this moment harden him or reshape him? And if this marks the beginning of a more transparent era, will the industry be ready to see one of its most powerful figures without the armor?